So I'm going to stop off some of this stuff in my place. I'm not going to
Okay, right.
off the
Very
set.
good. I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
Mary might be taken after.
Yes. I got a cool picture of you, Mary, with that constituent. I'm going to send it to you. Look at that guy. Isn't that cool?
Oh my gosh, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. There's Ted. We're going to have constant honking. Matt.
Yes. Photo or video?
Matt,
So-
Kevin.
Do you guys want a photo or video?
Well, you got two cameras. You can do both.
Oh yeah, to go. I know somebody goes, how long is it video?
Hey everybody, we're going to get started. Thanks to all of you who are here on this beautiful Michigan Day, beautiful per Michigan Day. I'm Michonne Maddock, co-chair of the Michigan Republican Party, and I'm here with some of our fellow legislators. I'm so proud of them all for being here outside of Marlena's Bistro in beautiful downtown Holland. And we're here because we have a few questions to ask. We want to know why Dana Nessel continues to use the Department of Justice as a political weapon. We want to know why she continues to protect her political ally, Gretchen Whitmer. And we want to know why she continues to persecute Michigan citizens, including an immigrant woman who's running a small business and just wants to earn a living. I'm going to turn this over to our elected officials, starting with State Representative Mary Whiteford. Thanks, Mary.
Thank you, Ms. Shawn. Thank you for being here, everybody. I'm going to start out with a story, and it happened on Thursday. I was at a local restaurant in Allegan called the Grill House and heard screaming, help, help, nonstop. So I raced upstairs, and lo and behold, there's an elderly man laying on the floor, dying. He's gray. Everybody's walking around, not doing anything. Well, I'm a former CPR instructor. I got down, I did a Heimlich, opened his airway, just about to give mouth to mouth, when he breathed on his own. All he needed was me to open up his jaw, otherwise he would have died. This is similar to Marlena. All she wants is to breathe. She wants to support her family. She wants to support the families of the employees that work with her. That's all she wants. Every single person who came and ate at that restaurant, like me a couple weeks ago, they know the risks. They want to support this hardworking woman who is giving it all for her community, all for her family, all for the people that work in her restaurant and are supporting their families as well. Right now, she's behind bars. Right now, she can't get out. It's heartbreaking. Her family is heartbroken. The community is heartbroken. The gentleman who lives right across the street, heartbroken by what's happening and the risk that she took just to make a living. We've been working hard as legislators. I'm chair of the Health and Human Services budget, constantly asking questions why. And now it's time for everybody to get together behind Marlena and the other restaurants of our state, the people in nursing homes. We need to stand up for the people. We need to make sure that they have the liberty to live their lives to the best of their ability. That's why our nation was formed. It was formed on the backs of people who wanted liberty and the right to run their lives and live their lives and feed their families. Thank you for being here. Now I'm going to introduce my senator from Allegan County, Senator Eric Nesbitt.
Thanks, Mary. I'd like to thank all of you for coming out here today and all these brave patriots back there. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. This is a challenge. A year ago, the governor started her economic suppression and her lockdowns of this state. And we've continued to see the Attorney General of this state using her power for partisan political differences. Our left-wing Attorney General, Dana Nessel, refuses to investigate Governor Whitmer's tragic nursing home policy, but is spending time going after this small business, other small businesses around the state. Nessel's priorities are clear as she fights to release criminals from prison and let the Whitmer administration off the hook for trying to use COVID relief money to give no-bid contracts to Democratic political operatives. These people are out here today, we're out here today to shed light on what's going on with these political witch hunt that's happening from the partisan left-wing Attorney General Dana Nessel. And once again, she'll go after other oppositions in terms of her own partisan being, but she won't investigate folks from her own party. And so I think it's high time that the Attorney General actually steps up and does her job and actually goes after Governor Whitmer and her failed nursing home policy. Go after Governor Whitmer and her failed COVID economic suppression policies. And so I appreciate staying with my colleagues today and saying it's time to fully open up Michigan safely. Thank you. Now I have a
Thank you, Senator. You know, Senator Nesbitt brought up a really good point. If we had people like Marlena in the executive branch, people who have worked hard, given up everything, that's where leadership matters, everybody. And just like all the people here to support Marlena, that is the key. If you don't have that experience, listen. All you have to do is get out there and hear the stories and the suffering that's going on. Now I'm going to introduce Senator Victory.
Thank you so much. And again, I just want to appreciate we have the media here to bring this story out. We have the good patriots across the street again. Thank you for coming out. This is shocking. This is disturbing to me. As chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, it weighs heavy in my heart because I asked this question. Why is there a resident of the state of Michigan currently in jail? And the justification for her being in jail, she was operating her business. You have the cameras. You see clearly across the road, this business is not open. But yet, we have a resident of the state of Michigan serving time without bail. We have others who have been incarcerated, have the opportunity to post bail. Also, why is this resident that from West Michigan here, whose business is in Allegan County, being incarcerated in Ingham County? Very disturbing. But ultimately, a person is being incarcerated, and yet for a justification of operating a business of which is clearly boarded up and not open for business. I need that question to be answered. Thank you very much. I'll turn it over to State Representative Johnson.
Thank you, Roger. So today I'm here calling on Attorney General Dana Nessel to get her priorities in order. We need to make sure that the top Attorney General in the state of Michigan should not be focused on trying to put an immigrant business owner in jail, while at the same time refusing to investigate Governor Whitmer's nursing home policies that had deadly consequences for Michiganders all over the state of Michigan. It is time to make sure that Attorney General Dana Nessel stop her political games and actually do her job. What did Marlena do? She operated a business. She tried to make a living for herself. We used to celebrate that in America, but now they throw you in jail for that. At the same time, refusing to do an investigation on what we know to be one of the worst decisions ever made, to put COVID patients in nursing homes. Even the state of New York has recognized that problem, and they are doing an investigation. But here in Michigan, radical liberal Dana Nessel refuses to look into nursing homes. She refuses to hold Governor Whitmer accountable for her decisions, and instead is focused on putting an immigrant business owner in jail for just trying to make a living. This needs to stop. The political bullying and trying to go after people because they hold a different political position as you is not the way that the Attorney General's office needs to be run. So we are calling on Attorney General Dana Nessel to get her priorities in order and actually investigate the nursing home scandal and to release a private citizen from jail for trying to make a living. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Johnson. Thank you for being here today. Like we're saying, just let them breathe. Let our restaurant owners do their job, do what they do best. And now we're open to some questions, if you guys have any. Okay, here, I'll say it. So the question is if legislators are hiring a special prosecutor to bring up charges against Governor Whitmer.
Your oversight, Chair. I think this is something that I think all options need to be on the table over the last year. As you look at it, we held, I was on the Joint COVID Oversight Committee last year. I sat through over 40 hours worth of hearings, listening to the failures from this administration, from this governor, on not getting PPEs into the state quick enough, not declaring an emergency, and then blaming it on the Trump administration. It's all point and blame under this administration, whether it's Governor Whitmer, whether it's the left-wing Attorney General Dana Nessel, whether it's Gerrymander Jocelyn Benson. All three of them continue to make excuses instead of operating the state. And really, we're here today to show, do your job, reopen the state, allow business owners to get back to work, allow folks to actually start making a living instead of trying to rely on a handout of either the federal or state government. And that's why I'm here today.
Eric, I have a question. Why has the news not covered the nursing homes for a year? 1 year, we've lost our beloved elderly veterans who have served our country. And I've been exposing the nursing home scandal for 1 year.
But
Why haven't they covered this?
Repeat the question. Repeat the question.
she's asking why has the news media been covering the nursing home scandal over the year, and I think this is something that you're seeing, and as things come to light, there's been two different really stark paths the state's followed. New York's Governor Cuomo style and lies and deceit that's happened in the state, or Governor DeSantis' style. And you've seen the effects of both of them in terms of the hiding, the mistrust that's been created, and the economic devastation on families and seniors that have been created in New York, and that's the path that Governor Whitmer followed. And we've shown that Governor Cuomo's path and Governor Whitmer's path has led to deaths of our seniors, of folks in the nursing homes, and that's wrong.
No, Eric, I think you articulated very well. And we do need, and we're bringing this message out forward, that people have died in our assisted living centers. And there's been so much other activities of COVID and there's so much noise. We know we've been through a tremendous year of issues, but we have to be very focused and focus on those very specific issues where people have died, bring that to the light, and we will continue to bring that message loud and bold from the state.
And I'll follow through on that. I met a gentleman who's a chef at a nursing home over in Wayne County. Within a matter of a month, half the residents died from COVID. Half. Could you imagine all those empty beds? It's terrible. So, any other questions? So the question is, why is the GOP sticking behind somebody who is flagrantly not obeying the rules that were established? So we are legislators. We believe there's checks and balances in establishing law. There was no process involved in shutting down Marlena's and shutting down other restaurants in the state. That's the bottom line.
So I want to follow up to that question. Marlena did not violate a law that the legislature passed. Marlena violated an order issued by an unelected bureaucrat. No one should be able to go to jail because one unelected bureaucrat makes an order. The legislative branch is a lawmaking entity, and this governor is trying to bypass that, at the same time trying to hide her nursing home scandal.
I gotta follow up on that here. I mean, it might not be a law issued by the legislature, but this is a
So any other questions? Any other questions?
Well, I'll go right back to my original statement. I'm here today that somebody is in jail for operating a business against the rules. This business is not open. Why is she not here today? Because her restaurant's not open, and yet this resident's being jailed. That question has to be answered.
One more question.
What is the message to other restaurant owners that have followed?
So the question is, what is the answer for other restaurants who have been following the rules?
I think the important thing to remember here is what is the message that's being sent to anyone in Michigan that wants to open a business, anyone that wants to make a living for themselves. They are being told at any point in time, one person can come in and shut you down. One person can throw you in jail because you want to make a living. That is not the America I grew up in. The America I grew up in was one that allowed you to go out there and work your tail off and make a living. And the government wasn't going to stop you, but they're actually going to encourage you and to celebrate that. And instead, now in Michigan, one unelected person can tell you you have to shut down. If you don't, they will throw you in jail. I believe that's it for questions today.
I want to follow up on this, Steve. I want to follow up real quick on that. This has been a year into this economic suppression that this governor and this administration has done. And this is a reminder that, remember, a year ago, Michigan was the only state in the Midwest that shut down construction workers. Ohio didn't, Illinois didn't, Indiana didn't, Wisconsin didn't, Michigan did. What were the matrices that she used to decide that against critical infrastructure federal guidelines? Why were we the only state that shut down pontoons but allowed for canoes? What was the matrices? These are the questions that the media needs to be asking, is what is the matrix? What are the areas that they're actually asking to get these things opened or closed? And they're making them in a black box. We just don't understand where they're coming from. She won't work with the legislature. She won't share that information with the families and the public. So thanks all for coming out here. Appreciate that.
Oh, one question for our property owner here, Rob. Yeah, why is Marlena still in jail? That's a question. Yep, we want her right here. Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for coming to today's press conference. That concludes the press conference with the Michigan Republican Party. Thank you.